character building couple of weeks, huh?
Wowzers.
Yeah.
That's like an understatement.
So I have
Dedication. That's us.
yes. Here to bring you the hits. Revolutionary historical hits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one functional arm now. That's pretty fucking cool. Yeah, so I hurt my
It's not funny, it's awful.
I know. I hit a pothole while I was scootering with my son and rolled and did something to my shoulder, so now I'm in a sling and it's all wrapped up against my body and it's an excruciating pain and yay! But we are here to do a podcast.
We're here. It's getting done.
Oh man. Oh, so another person who's having a weird time. I wouldn't say it's a bad time. This would actually be pretty cool for me. But from mirror.co.uk, there is a dog owner spooked after spotting ghost teasing pups on camera. So, yeah. So a dog owner was left spooked after spotting a ghost in her living room teasing her pets. The woman has a pet camera in her home to check her furry friends when she's not around, but she wasn't expecting it to capture paranormal goings on. She shared some of the recent footage on TikTok, highlighting the weird movements of her blanket. The video shows her two dogs barking at something that they can be seen running over to the window to see what's happening. When they get there, get to where the noise is coming from, which is the blanket, which is on the edge of the sofa, it starts to move. One corner of the fabric rises, but not once, but several times. It almost looks as if it is breathing. The dogs, however, are completely oblivious to the ghost-like movement occurring only inches behind them, whilst there doesn't appear to be anything sinister hiding beneath the cover. It certainly does look freaky. So, ooh, ghosts.
Ooh. That's bananas. Ghost bananas.
Ghost bananas.
Monkey
Those are
ghost?
bananas you can
Monkey ghost?
see through. Yeah, so, guess what else? We have a bunch of... I was going to tell you anyway. We have a bunch of episodes up on YouTube. Been working on that. We're going to have a bunch more because...
Good job. Thank you.
Yeah. Going to have a bunch more, so... yeah, we are way behind. I'm way behind on that. But we're getting some traction on there, so that's pretty cool. Actually, we're getting more hits on YouTube than we ever have before. Which is weird because we're getting less hits on our other stuff, but more on YouTube. So I think it's evening out. I don't really know. Maybe. I hope so. Tell your friends. Anyway, you'll like it here. It's nice. Yeah, Katie's nice.
I try.
This is the Higher Minds Podcast. I'm Papa Darby.
Welcome. I'm Katie.
Hi, Katie. How are you?
You know what? I'm hanging in there. Good. It is hot in Florida right now.
Yeah.
And I've been moving some stuff.
Yeah, you're helping.
It's just awful.
You're helping your parents move, right? Yeah.
Yes. And they have a lot of quality things that weigh a lot.
Old people. They've been around for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, so between me breaking myself, being stupid, and you moving, we're recording the night before we post, which is unheard of. Unprecedented.
Always fun.
And super inconvenient for both of us. So, but it's okay.
But you know what? You need to know about this.
You do. What do we need to know about?
The Culper Spy Ring and Agent 355.
Doom, doom, doom. So my sources are, this is kind of short and there's not much information on this. I wanted to go to the library this week to do it, but
you broke yourself.
Yeah. So my sources are YouTube and Wikipedia, the go-tos. So
the go-tos.
Agent 355 died after 1780. We're not entirely sure. Was a codename for a female spy during the American Revolution, part of the Culper Ring. Agent 355 was one of the first spies for the United States, but her real identity is unknown. The number 355 can be decrypted from the system the Culper Ring used to mean lady, which you showed me that list, that Culper Ring list.
Yes,
that's pretty cool. I didn't see that.
You know, I kept seeing pictures of the actual thing and I was like, wow, that's really hard to read. And then found a link that actually had it all typed out. And it was essentially every letter of the alphabet had a handful of words that they use regularly, and they were all assigned a number. So you were writing entire messages. This whole code was all like numerical, it was all numbers, but all of those numbers meant another word. It was just wild. Like to Oh man, that would suck.
Yeah,
To
yeah,
remember
yeah.
all of that.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there was only a few
I'm
people
sure they had
who
like,
did that though, who actually had it
yeah, like
memorized.
5.
But yeah, we'll post an image of that on our website and different places. So the only direct reference to Agent 355 in any of the Culper Ring's missives from 1778 to 1780 was from Abraham Woodhull to General George Washington. Woodhull described her as one who hath ever been serviceable to these correspondents. To this correspondence. The true identity of Agent 355 is still unknown, but some facts about her seem clear. She worked with the American Patriots during the Revolutionary War as a spy. She would have been recruited by Woodhull into the spy ring. The way the code is constructed indicates that she may have had some degree of social prominence. She was likely living in New York City and at some point had contact with Major John Andre and Benedict Arnold. One person who may have been Agent 355 was Anna Strong, Woodhull's neighbor. Anna Strong helped by signaling to the ring the location of Caleb Brewster, who raided British shipments to his whaleboat around the Long Island Sound after he was given a secure location by Anna Strong. Another theory is that Agent 355 may have been Robert Townsend's common-law wife. Stories about Townsend state that he was in love with Agent 355. John Burke and Andrea Meyer John Burke and Andrea Meyer have made a different case for 355's involvement in the spy ring using circumstantial evidence that she may have been close to Major John Andre and also to Benjamin Talmadge, thereby protecting Woodhull from accusations of being a spy. Other possible candidates for 355 include Sarah Horton Townsend and Elizabeth Bergen. It is also occasionally believed that there was no Agent 355, but rather that the code indicated a woman who had useful information but wasn't formally connected to the ring. The code itself may have referred to a woman, not an agent who was a woman. Agent 355 is thought to have played a major role in exposing Arnold and the arrest of Major John Andre, who was hanged in Tappan, New York. Tappan? I don't know. She may have been a member. She may have been a member of a prominent loyalist family, which would have put her within easy reach of British commanders. Agent 355 was arrested in 1780 when Benedict Arnold went to the Loyalists. She was imprisoned on HMS Jersey, His Majesty's ship, Jersey, a prison ship, where she may have given birth to a boy named Robert Townsend Jr. She later died on the prison ship. However, Alexander Rose disagrees with this narrative, stating that females were not kept aboard prison ships and that there's no record whatsoever of a birth. Strengthening the idea that Agent 355 may have been Anna Strong is the fact that her husband, Silas Strong, was in prison on the Jersey, and she was supposedly allowed to bring him food. Her presence on the ship may have led to the legend that Agent 355 was imprisoned there. So I told you that I figured out who Agent 355 was in the last episode, and
yeah,
I think it was one of the slaves. I think it was a female slave. Who else would be like actually have access to all of these prominent people and be invisible and be able to send messages?
Yeah,
especially a slave woman.
I mean,
like nobody pays attention. Nobody would have paid attention to her.
Sad but true.
So tell us about the Culper Ring, Katie.
Yeah, they let me do my sources. So historyisfun.org, mountvernon.com, bbc.com, history.com, and wikipedia.com. I like to double triple check everything.
Yeah, me too.
And see
I would have.
Who has the best to offer. So the Culper spy ring. I'm just gonna go over. I didn't know anything about this. The course here for me. So I just went over a whole general covering blanket story of all of it. So here you go. So British commander General Howe in 1778 made the decision to reestablish some British headquarters in New York. So they controlled New York, Long Island, that whole area there. So they remained there until 1783, when General George Washington didn't have any real intelligence network there, which was a major weakness. So he assigned General Charles Scott to develop some intelligence sources, and Scott stuck to the traditional practice of sending soldiers out, scout things out, check it out, come back. It didn't work well. So Benjamin Talmadge, who was a Continental Army major, offered to develop a spy ring to gather intelligence against the British forces occupying New York City and Long Island at that time. So when several men who were spying for Scott were captured and executed, womp womp. Like I said, it didn't work out. Didn't work out so well for them. So when that happened, Washington moved towards Talmadge's plan and put him in charge of the intelligence there. So Talmadge organized a ring of civilians, which became known as this Culper Ring. That honestly, they still act like is the best intelligence there ever was. So they're pretty slick with it. So that's cool. Because you have to figure why isn't death the penalty for
treason? Yeah, usually.
So you're just what made you want to do that? So
I mean,
not copy paste.
Revolution and sovereignty and stuff and war does strange things to men, and I mean, I don't know, why would you want to do that? It's because he thought he was right. Honestly, that's probably why.
Yeah, I mean, literally that's what everyone's doing out here. They think they're so right, they're going to tell you about it. They're going to do something about it. Yeah. So some methods, the drop methods, which a dead drop, that just meant, I had to look that up. I was like, is that something extra fancy? Do you bury it 6 feet? I didn't know.
No,
it's just a spot where you meet.
Yeah, not a Breaking Bad fan, are you?
No, I guess not. I did watch it though, so shame on me because I did watch the entire thing. Yeah. So obviously the code names, the number substitute for codes, and invisible ink, which I watched a little tiny video about it, where they used gallic acid from a gallnut, and then when you rubbed ferrous sulfate over it, it would show up. So
neat. I watched National Treasure in preparation for this, and yeah, that's the same kind of thing. They write in invisible ink and use a reagent to make the ink visible. Yeah. But they did that on
used eggs too.
Yeah, on the back of the Declaration of Independence.
Oh, very cool. Is that true? Is it there?
Not that I don't think so.
I've never seen that movie.
But yeah, it's a National Treasure.
Could be. Could be true.
It is now. Everything's true now.
You heard it here first. It's on the internet. I did read there was 190 letters they passed through here, so that's kind of crazy too. Because the whole thing was only lasted.
They didn't have email back then.
Yeah. I wonder if they used when did they start using pigeons for stuff? Do you know that's a big thing in this area? There's just as many pigeon farms and pigeon feed places as there is rural kings. It's kind of funny.
I think they've been using pigeons for centuries. Yeah. I mean, I think the Romans used pigeons and shit. I had
why didn't they use pigeons?
I was friends with an ex-monk once, and he bred pigeons. Homing pigeons.
Ooh. Yeah, it's a thing here. I didn't know it was a thing until I started seeing everyone with their pigeon bumper stickers and stuff. Talmadge had already had a good informant, Caleb Brewster, which most of his ring was people he knew from his neighborhood, These are all like seem like his circle from when he was a kid.
Caleb from around
So
the
Caleb
block.
Brewster was from around the block. Uh, I looked up how to say this, so be proud of that. Setauket, Long Island. That's where he grew up. That's where his childhood friend Caleb Brewster was from. Brewster was a lieutenant in the Continental Army and owned a little whaleboat that allowed him to travel between Connecticut and Long Island by water, which came in handy, obviously. So Abraham Woodhull, another friend from Setauket,
From around the way.
was also. What'd you say? Sorry.
Woodhull from around the way.
From around the way.
What's his name? Benjamin?
Still.
What'd you say? Abraham?
Abraham.
AB from around the way. That's what we used to call him.
He's still AB from the block.
Yeah.
Yep. So
nothing but comedy gold here, guys.
Abraham Woodhull. Nothing. Gold. Yep. So he was also recruited about the same time. Woodhull was unmarried though and lived with his father, who was a local magistrate. Talmadge gave Woodhull the code name Samuel Culper, and later Samuel Culper Sr. as a reference to Culpeper County, Virginia, where Washington had surveyed as a young man. So Washington, Woodhull, Brewster, Talmadge, and some others were also assigned numbers. Woodhull's number was 722. Scroll. So the initial phase of the Ring's operations, Abraham made trips to New York to visit his married sister, Mary Underhill, at her boarding house that she had in the city. So once he was there, he gathered whatever information he could and then traveled back to New Jersey and conveyed the information back to Brewster. So Brewster picked up the information in Setauket. Yep, that's it, right. Rode across Long Island Sound and then delivered the information to Talmadge in Connecticut, who then carried the message to Washington. Like, it was some work, but they did it well. So good for them. So Woodhull's frequent trips into the city caught the attention of British guards at local checkpoints. Within a few months, Woodhull was stopped and searched. Despite their best efforts, though, the British did not discover the letter that was just concealed in his saddle. So good job hiding it. They didn't say how. That would have been cool. So this close call led them to change a little bit in strategy. So Woodhull had a distant relation to Robert Townsend into joining the Ring. Took me a long time to say that sentence, sorry. Townsend was given the code name Samuel Culper Jr., and Townsend was Taylor and a silent partner in a coffee house that they had up in New York City. So he mingled daily with the British officers, but he harbored a secret hatred of the British because of the atrocities they committed against civilians. So I guess nothing's really changed. So Woodhull now stayed home while Townsend gathered information in the course of just his business in the city, and then encoded it and sent it via courier back to New Jersey. And the courier buried it in a prearranged location. And Woodhull owned some land, and so that was often a spot they used. So this is where maybe Anna Strong may have come into the story. According to some sources, Strong is yet another childhood friend, and she would hang like a black like petticoat or like what, I don't know, whatever you want to call them, out to kind of like, hey, it's here. And then she would hang like one of 6 white like handkerchiefs, and each one of those were like 6 different like bays that he would like bring his boat in to know which one to go to get said message. So that's kind of cool. They kind of like did it right in plain sight, so no one really ever caught on. So I thought that was kind of cool. But anyways, like I just said, this signaled to Caleb Brewster, who was patrolling nearby that the message was ready, and then which of the coves he should take his boat. And then once he had the message, he carried it back in the boat to Connecticut, and then the message was then carried on to Washington. So I just hit end screen somehow. One day I'll learn how to use a computer, and it's gonna be nothing help me on here. There we go. Okay, so got it. Never mind. So many of these communications survive today, and it's just kind of a neat thing, I guess. I imagine they still use some of these things. Like, who wouldn't use invisible ink? That's pretty badass.
That's pretty cool.
But is there like super easier ways to check it now? Like, like probably like a black light would show it.
Well, I understand that the reason that what's his name, Osama got away for so long is because he used ultra low tech methods like this to get away. I mean, everybody's looking through computers and phones and shit now, and they didn't have any of that shit.
Maybe y'all should be using pigeons. So,
well, pigeons are easy to carrier pigeons are easy to spot. They're birds carrying shit. So, I mean, they have little tiny. They're concealable, but I mean, they're still easier to spot than. Like, I think Osama used like little kids to run messages around, like Newsies and shit.
Yeah, that's awful. So I mean, you hate to. I mean, I was gonna say you hate to say smart, but like it worked for quite some time.
Your enemy can be smart if you don't. If you don't respect your enemy's intelligence, then you're probably going to lose to them. You know, everybody can be smart.
Yeah,
smart comes from all areas.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you got to learn the other side to win. So yeah. It only really went on from like 1778 to like 1780-ish. So it was like a few years of just 190 letters giving up secrets of the British moves and weaponry and where they're at and what moves when they're leaving, and all kind of done with just plans. So,
and there was that one guy,
in
1780 who's like, God damn it, I just learned all of the fucking codes and now we're done.
I just memorized this. Imagine him having like the wrist thing like quarterbacks have. Trying to call letters like 3329. Hollering stuff out. That's what I imagine. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. Like, I guess there's not like a ton to it, and I tried to look up like specific, like that's 190 letters, like what all you got to say, but really the main thing I found over all the different things I read was just the tactics of this hanging up the handkerchiefs and the code and keeping his circle small and tight. These were all people that he knew personally. Not just professionally.
A couple of those 190 messages were like, I don't know, I'm bored. What are you doing? You guys doing all right?
Testing gallic acid.
testes. 1, 2, 3. Ah. Yeah, I'm sure.
Urine doesn't work.
I'm sure at least the first one or the last one was that.
Had to have been. So yeah. But I wish I did see that there was a show. I'll have to watch it. I don't remember what it was on, but it's called Turn, Washington Spies. And they said it was pretty. I mean, obviously they elaborated for more of a story, but that all the characters they used and everything were pretty spot on to the accuracy of what they know about it.
Yeah,
so that might be kind of cool to watch.
I think it's like AMC or FX or something. I've seen it. Like,
the
first
that
episode.
Looks right. AMC's.
And yeah, it was okay. I'm not a revolution. Okay. I'm not a Revolutionary War history buff kind of guy, so that's not like.
Yeah.
I find it interesting. I thought Agent 355 was interesting. That's why we're doing it. But yeah, it's not something that really held my interest. Oh, you know what's out now that did hold my interest though? The Boys season 2. That's really good. Oh, and then Lovecraft Country. Oh my God, have you seen that?
No, I have not.
That's really fucking good too. It's on HBO.
That sounds neat.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
I haven't watched anything in a while. I've literally been so busy. It's been bananas.
Oh yeah.
My
You have been.
pajamas coming straight down the stairs, tripping, falling, and turning into mush at the bottom.
That is
oh
way
no,
more
like
description than I
no
was expecting
direct,
from
like
that.
me too. And then I felt bad because you fell and you smashed like a banana, and I didn't mean it.
Oh, like a banana. Ah, we did you see what you did there? There's a whole turning around joke. Yeah.
A whole, yeah, unintentional, backhanded.
We're really doing good.
You're welcome.
We need tonight. Yay, medicine. All right.
That was good. It was just slow.
Do you have more?
Slow coming out. No, that was really
Yeah.
it. It just kind of repeated a lot of itself.
Yeah.
But there are some cute little like videos, and it looked like there was a lot of books and other little spin-off shows that probably weren't accurate, but the same if you were into this like specific time. There's a lot of like little series and shows out there.
I think there is. I think they're all female, but there's a band called Agent 355 too.
Oh, you know what? I noticed that because when I first Googled that popped up. So that's cool. I'll have to check them out.
I did not.
Give them a little
I did not listen to anything by them, but
hashtag.
they seem pretty punk. I don't like punk, so what's up, guys? Girls, ladies,
What up?
peoples, spies, whatever you are.
Okay.
Anyway, so this was a short one, and we hope you enjoy it. Tell all your friends.
Yeah.
If you were to tell your friends where to listen, where and how and stuff, and Katie, take it away because I can't do this anymore.
You would tell them your poor arm and brain. You would tell them to go check out our website at highermindspodcast.com because it's pretty inclusive. You can find all the links to our Facebook and Instagram and Twitter.
And that one sock that you lost in the dryer.
Right from there. You can comment. Yeah. So tell Jerry Seinfeld we found him.
Ah, 90s jokes. What's the deal with airplane food? That was a little Dr. Phil, though, wasn't it?
Just Seinfeld. It was. That's very funny. That did sound more like Dr. Phil. But anyways, yeah. And then you can listen to us on Spotify or iTunes or SoundCloud or just Google us. That's another good way to find out tons of information. So really, anyway, you like to look things up, you're going to find us. So
yeah,
boom, boom.
It's there. Check us out. Check us at YouTube. You're not going to hear this on YouTube until next week, probably. I'm getting to it. There's a lot more to
catch up on the other ones.
Yeah. There's time. All right, guys. Well, this has been the Higher Mind Podcast. Oh, actually, no. Before I sign out, I want to say special thanks to Dean Albenzi and Albenzi Inc. And you did a good job on our website, and he's helping us with our tech, and he's been doing such a good job, and thank you.
Yes.
All right.
Bless his heart for dealing with me. Thank you, Dean.
Yes, thank you. And dealing with me, dealing with all of us. He doesn't have to, but he chooses to, and we are so grateful. Anyway.
He chooses to. That's so nice.
Yes. Listen to the Higher Minds Podcast. This has been the Higher Minds Podcast, and I'm Papa Darby.
And I'm Katie.
Deuces.
Bye.